FOMO from Disney, but just barely. We are about to go catch our flight. It's very early, as you can see. Got the beautiful boardwalk, beautiful spaceship Earth right there. We've really, really enjoyed this view. I do have some comments I'll share with you later about boardwalk versus not boardwalk view, but beautiful view, no doubt about that. So we're headed to the airport, so come along with us. Goodbye, boardwalk lobby and creepy little chairs. It's a little creepy when there's no one around. I mean, there is no one around. As you may have guessed by the sound of my voice, I caught the Disney plague. I have a cold. So far, Brian does not have it. Who knows if he'll not catch it from me or not. We're trying because we have fun plans coming up for Memorial Day weekend, so I definitely don't want him to be sick. I should be better by then, but this one's definitely hanging in there. It started a few days ago, well into the trip, but one day I just didn't feel great, had no symptoms, and then that night I woke up with a sore throat, so that was the beginning of it. But we are heading into a beautiful sunrise this morning to the airport. This is a new tradition of ours. We did this last time. We stopped at the Cask and Larder, and they do have a gluten-free menu. There's their breakfast menu. And of course they have regular menu too. There's their not breakfast menu. And we really enjoyed this last time. We're leaving shortly. I thought I'd give you a couple of thoughts about our trip. We had a really good time, wonderful time, other than me getting sick. That was really the only bad thing that happened. The first part of the week was super humid, almost like fall, like September. The second part of the week was nice, so the last 2 days were gorgeous, and we enjoyed our boardwalk view, but I was going to talk about that too. I think I'll mention this in the Disney vlogs, but they won't come out for a while. Now that we've stayed there twice, once with an adjoining room, once without, both times were super noisy. This time we didn't have an adjoining room, but we were right in front of the games where they're whacking that lobster game and stuff, and you could totally hear that. And it was also bright lights right outside our window because of the games. There were strings of lights right outside our window. So I think we're done with Boardwalk View. As beautiful as it is, it's just way too noisy and way too bright. We're gonna go back to Pool View the next time we stay at Boardwalk. The next two trips we're actually gonna stay at different resorts. We're gonna mix it up a little, but when and if we go back, I'm sure we will probably go back to Pool View. So just want to share that. I'm not saying you wouldn't like it. If you're a sound sleeper, probably wouldn't matter one way or the other, but I had to actually sleep with an eye mask because of the light, and the noise, like I said, wasn't terrible, but you could hear it for sure. And we're off. As you can see, we are home, and I have already done a couple of loads of laundry and unpacked fully, and also started partially packing for our trip coming up for Memorial Day weekend. So we are settled, I guess. Brian's already cooking some falafel. I am not cooking today. I am tired. We went to the grocery store, but this cold is really taking its toll now. That's why my nose is so red. It's not sunburn, it's from the cold. I am just so stuffy, so I am just gonna kick back and relax because usually colds are not this bad for me, so this one seems to be a doozy, or it's because we just kept going to the parks even though I was sick. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But anyway, gonna rest now. Good morning, it is Sunday, and I'm sorry guys, I am still sick, so I am not doing makeup, which means you're not gonna see me today. But I'll be back tomorrow because I gotta go to work tomorrow. So I am gonna make salad today for my work lunch. Here's what the salads look like when they're done. So these are the blue cheese, cranberry, and con ones, and these are the sort of feta Greek style salads. Next up, my version of the Boma pasta salad. I probably should give it a new name. Carmen's veggie curry salad? I don't know. Because there's no pasta in it. I use zoodles, make zucchini noodles with my spiralizer. we have perfection. I also added just a little bit more mayonnaise. I think I added maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise because it wasn't quite as creamy as you want it. Like I said, this will release water. The zucchini just does. When you put it in the fridge, it's going to release a little. So you don't want it too creamy, otherwise it'll just get over the top and be more like a soup instead of a salad. Hello, it is Friday. Yes, Friday. I know I said I would be back on, I think, Monday. Didn't happen. We were both so sick all week. I am very close to better now. Brian says he feels better, but he does not sound better. And if you've noticed, he hasn't even been in the vlog at all this week. I don't think he's been here at all. He has been so sick. And so I'm back now though, and I have things to share from the Disney trip. First of all, before I forget, I know I mentioned we had something fun coming up this weekend. We ended up canceling it because we had to decide on Wednesday to be able to cancel our hotel. And we were both very sick on Wednesday, and so we ended up canceling the trip. And I think it was the right decision because Brian is still really stuffy and coughing, and it's going to be in the mid-90s. We were going to go to Busch Gardens this weekend. We still plan to go. It's just going to get postponed. And it is a bummer losing the 3-day weekend for travel though, because I know it's busy, but we don't care. We always go this weekend and we have a great time. It's just a bummer to lose that extra day off. I mean, we still have it off, of course, but we were not traveling. And that brings me to my next point I want to mention also before I get into the Disney trip. And sorry, I'm going to clear my throat a few times, guys. I'm still recovering. We are going to pause the weekly vlogs, which this is a weekly vlog. What I mean by weekly vlog is the daily life vlogs. So the vlogs of us at home, mostly. We will continue Myrtle Beach vlogs. We will continue theme park vlogs. We will continue Walt Disney World vlogs. We will continue other travel vlogs. All of those will continue as normal. They will come out Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, and if it's a weekend trip, it will most likely come out on either Monday or Friday at 2 p.m. I'm going to play with that time a little bit. I'll decide later, but the thing you want to do to make sure you don't miss anything, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button, and choose that you want to be notified every time we have a new video. That way, if our schedule changes, you will not miss a video. And so those will continue to come out. I am also tentatively right now going to, instead of doing daily vlogs while we're at Myrtle Beach, when we take our week-long trip to Myrtle Beach, I am toying with the idea of releasing those once a week instead. That way I'm not editing every day while I'm on a vacation and can actually vacation more and enjoy the time while we're there. That I haven't decided for sure, just thinking about it right now. If you have an opinion one way or the other, please leave it in the comments below. I'm very interested in what you have to say because it's not like a huge deal for me to edit those. What I have noticed is people watch the first couple of days we're there, then the views drop off dramatically. And I think it's because if you're like me, you don't have time to watch a video every day. I know I don't. And then once, you know, if you save it to watch later and then it gets really old, you probably don't want to watch it. And so I'm thinking about releasing those one a week on top of our other trips, not instead of, but on top of our other trip vlogs, just so that they're coming out at a more normal pace. And like I said, that way I don't have to edit them while I'm on vacation. So we'll see. Leave me a comment what you prefer, or if you don't care, you can leave a comment that says I don't care. Either one would be really appreciated. So back to Disney. Had a wonderful trip minus this illness. I unfortunately had the illness the last 2 days of the trip, and it was pretty brutal because it was also hot. Thankfully, the last 2 days of the trip were the least humid and hot, but it was still pretty hot, especially compared to the way it was here before we left. Now that we're back, it's very close to the same as what it was in Florida. A little less humid, but not by much. Once it gets to 95 and humid, it doesn't make that much difference, and it's hot and humid here. It's in the 90s. But when we left, it was in the high 70s, low 80s, and very low humidity, so it was a real shock to the system. But other than that, and the illness, wonderful time, wonderful time. And what really made it special is we got to meet a bunch of you guys. So this is for every single one of you who came up and said hi to us. We greatly appreciate that. It's so much fun meeting you, and we enjoyed talking with you. And also, we got to meet up with several friends, a whole bunch of friends. I hope I don't forget anyone because we met up with so many people. We met up with our friend John from the WDW Main Street podcast while he was working at the Lion King show. He's a cast member at Disney as well. And so we had a great time chatting with him very briefly because he was at work. And we also met up with our friend Judith and her son. And we had a great time hanging out with them and catching up. And if you're not familiar with the WDW Main Street podcast, Judith and I have been on it a few times, and we do ladies night, and we go on the podcast. We're just guests. We're not part of the podcast, and it's a ton of fun. And so if you haven't already, please check out that podcast. It's one of my favorites. It's really awesome. Doug and John do an amazing job. And then I also met up separately with my friends, the Magic Geekdom, another amazing vlog, and they live down there in the Orlando area. So if you're not subscribed to them, be sure to give them a subscribe. Had a wonderful, wonderful time hanging out with them, and I appreciated them taking time out of their busy lives to come by and see me at Epcot. And we got to spend almost a full day with our wonderful friend Alana, and so that was extra magical. She works a ton, and so it was so great to actually get to hang out with her and spend, I think we met up at close to rope drop. We had a little bus transportation issues that morning. It took 54 minutes for the bus to pick us up to take us from Boardwalk to Animal Kingdom. And so we were a little late getting there, but a little after rope drop, we met up with her at Animal Kingdom, and we hung out with her and went to Epcot. And I think we parted ways about 4, so we had a nice long time hanging out and visiting with her, so that was awesome getting caught up. We also met up with Disco Liz and Mike, and as long as we've known each other online, we have never been at the parks at the same time before, ever. And this time, it was like almost a fluke that we were there at the same time, and it was wonderful, wonderful finally getting to meet them in person. Unfortunately, by the time I met them, I was sick. And so I was trying to keep my distance, and also, just low energy because I was not feeling well. But we had an amazing time hanging out with them. It was just awesome to see them as well. So we had such a good time meeting up with all of our friends and getting to see a bunch of you guys. It was just a great week overall. And we had a couple of torrential rains, and I know it rains at Disney, but I mean exceptionally torrential, even by Florida standards. And both times we lucked out. I was kind of keeping an eye on the weather, and so we said, let's go take a room break, and we just sat in the room during the rain. So that worked out wonderfully both times. And the rest of the week, the weather was pretty sunny. There was very little sort of bad, it was hot, but very little bad weather. Highlights for the trip, besides meeting friends and you guys, probably, that's a good question, because I would say Flower and Garden. I love the topiaries, but the food this year, gluten-free wise, I know it's always less than Food and Wine, but it felt even less, especially for entrees. They had a few desserts, but I'm not a big dessert person. And so I didn't feel like I did as much Flower and Garden as I usually would. I actually think I enjoyed Animal Kingdom the most. That was so much fun, just hanging out there. I don't even have to be riding anything. Epcot's still my favorite park, but it's like such a close second. I absolutely love it. And of course we had fun at Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios as well, but I think for me, Animal Kingdom was the highlight. I just had such a good time there, and I think it might even become more and more my favorite once Hollywood Studios gets Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I love Star Wars, but I don't love what it's going to do to that park. I think it's going to be crazy for a long time. So Animal Kingdom may bump up even higher when that happens. We'll see. Thanks for watching. As always, we appreciate subscribes, likes, shares, and comments. Till our next adventure.